Hey everybody, I hope y'all are doing alright. So I've had the past 2 days off, after working 5 days straight, and, I mean, I'm just gonna express how I feel about things. So on Friday, Joy, she, she made a video, and I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, but it'll just, what needs to come out will come out. But it's kind of a painful process sometimes for myself it's challenging because, when you're dealing with love and relationships, at least for me, sometimes, to varying levels, if I'm in a stronger state of mind or if my energy is in a better place, it doesn't bother me as much. But when, I'm not feeling the best about myself, it's hard. It's just more challenging for me to, to try and build a relationship with somebody. And because I still am, I'm an addict. Since I was about, I started smoking weed, 15-ish, and then I got into opiates, I think, around 17 to 18, and then, 19 is when it really blossomed into, like, to where this is what I'm gonna spend my money on, this is what I want, this is what I look forward to, and just like, just full-flown, desire for, opiates, really. And for people who haven't taken opiates, at least for me, from what I've found, all the other supplements and drugs that I've experimented with, opiates they make me feel the most lovely. They help. I say they help, but I don't know if that's, they just help you feel lovely. Like, they help make me feel like I'm in love. They make me feel good about everything. They make me relax. They make me chill. Whatever it does to the brain, it seems to perpetuate that type of a feeling, just a very lovey-dovey feeling. It's one of the reasons why I've never really liked uppers as much, because I always felt like the uppers, they take you more away from love, whereas opiates kind of do the opposite. Of course, though, you end up falling in love with the opiates, and then the opiates, become, really a part of you, depending on how much you take them. And so, although kratom technically isn't an opiate, it does, very similar things to the body, to the mind, to the soul that opiates do. So I've been, ever since, once I got to Florida is when I started taking kratom again, like every day, and it started out just a dose a day, and it's just gradually grown into an all-day habit. And, just, with Joy, her getting involved with Jose, it just, from my perspective, it hurt, because I was, like I said, I was hoping that things would work out, better between us. And, it's part of the reason why I or chose to go to Florida. So upon her getting involved with Jose, I was just like, oh shit, that's not gonna happen. And it's not the strongest way to go about dealing with things, but, this, taking the herbs does help supplement having her in my life. So, while she was, spending time with him and, you know, participating in that whole situation, I was, you know, I've stayed away from YouTube, you know, longer and, you know, more frequently than I have in a very long time. And I've, you know, continued to take opiates, again, because they help fill that void that essentially, you know, a lover would be there to really fulfill. Because when you're filling the void with stuff that it doesn't really fill the, I mean, the only way you can really, it's, you know, deal with the void really is, and it's not by, you know, the opiates just help me run away from it, because like I have this desire to love, as we all do, and because I haven't found it in another human being, you know, I go and do what I can with whatever else I can to help quench that desire, you know. But so anyway, that's you know, my situation right now is you know, I'm an addict, and so that's going on. Mark?
Yeah.
What's up?
I was going to say, man.
Okay.
Hockey gets weird.
No, that's fine. So anyways, you know, upon Friday, you know, Joy made a video, and you know, again, I'm just going off, I'm kind of, I mean, I'm making assumptions, but I'm doing it from a place of like my perspective. Like, I'm just sharing what I observed and what I experienced, and I have no idea really how accurate it is, because I don't know what's going on in Joy's mind or anything. But anyway, the video that she made, the titles, because the parts of her video that I watched, she actually wasn't even talking. So all I got to witness was just the expressions on her face, you know, and the place that she was in energetically. But the title itself, and then she also had a caption running at the, you know, bottom of her video, you know, and everything that we do says something about us, right? So like, she's, you know, the title says something, you know, the caption she chooses to use says something, you know, her demeanor and her face, these all say things. You know, the message that I got from her video was, I don't know, to be honest. Like, that's part of the reason why I've stayed away from YouTube, was because I've just been trying to wrap my head around, like, you know, her intentions, like why she made this video, and, you know, how it feels to me. And, you know, I can spend hours, days, you know, just going over things in my mind and trying to, you know, analyze it, figure it out myself. And the whole time I could have just decided to watch her video and, you know, all the way through, and get just a more in-depth, you know, knowledge as to what's really going on. But, you know, I have, you know, I've just spent so much time on my own, and I choose, you know, I don't choose, well, it is a choice because I'm choosing to do this, but it's a choice that I don't think is really the healthiest choice for myself. But it's just a way that I've, you know, it's just who I am right now. You know, sometimes, especially because of the opiates, like, I get that feeling and the sustenance from the opiates, so it takes away from my desire to want to connect with other human beings. You know, so yeah, I just, again, you know, upon seeing her make that video and the things that it said, and then, you know, me having just worked my first real week, you know, in a job in a long time, I was really tired. You know, that Saturday I woke up, like, I'd planned on spending a lot of time trying to communicate on YouTube and trying to just do what I can to make things, you know, go in a loving way for everybody. But Saturday I was just beat down, tired, you know, and then, you know, and then when I start smoking weed, I get very introspective, and, you know, I just, it just makes me less motivated to want to interact with other people. And then on top of that, I'm sitting there just going over, you know, these words and these things that I saw in my mind, and like, what does it mean, and this and that. And part of me feels like she, you know, was displaying a mixture of messages, which, you know, I mean, it's not that she's wrong. Like, you know, I did lose the game, essentially. Like, that was the caption she had at the bottom of her screen was, you know, she said, you lost the game that you started. And so I think she's talking about me again. I don't know, but, you know, upon seeing that, I was like, yeah, she's right. You know, I mean, you know, I set out, you know, a little over a year ago now, trying to communicate and, you know, trying to build a relationship with her. And, you know, I did what I did, and, you know, it got to a point where I literally made moves to, you know, be in her area, in an area nearer her than here on the Oregon coast. And, you know, I mean, she still ended up, you know, trying to get with other people. So, you know, I did lose that game. You know, but then again, you know, it's like, okay, you know, you're right about that. You know, I lost the game, but then why? You know, I mean, did I really lose it if you still have some type of interest in me? Because, like, why else would somebody, you know, make a video like that, you know, saying those things, but then also, like, in the title of her video, she was referencing things that I said a long time ago about her being a tomboy, and, you know, and, like, that whole subject. And, you know, I've thought about that too since seeing that. It's another thing I've been wrapping around in my mind. And, you know, like, the tomboy thing, I want a female. Like, I love feminine energy. I love, you know, I don't want some gung-ho, like, testosterone enhanced chick with a bunch of muscles. Like, that's not what I want. You know, I just really like a girl that, I mean, I'd like to have a girl that's cool with, you know, going outdoors and doing outdoorsy shit. And, you know, I love backpacking, so I was hoping that, you know, whomever I find out to be with, you know, they like to backpack too. And, you know, just a girl that's a little bit more physical. That doesn't, you know, that doesn't, I don't know what the exact definition of a tomboy is, but, no, I love feminine energy, you know, and I don't want a chick that's, like, kind of like a dude. I'd like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like when speaking on the tomboy thing, you know, that's something that in my mind, you know, a long time ago, there was a chick whom I met who was a tomboy, and she was cool, and we got along all right. But, you know, I mean, that doesn't mean that that's, like, the only thing that I like or want. And I do think because I am a man with a little bit more feminine energy than other men, that it would make sense that I would be drawn to people or to females with a little bit more testosterone than other females. But I don't want to, you know, I want a chick, I want a female, I want a woman. I want somebody who, you know, is good at displaying what it means to be a female, you know. And and I think Joy's got a lot of that inside of herself. I think she's got a huge capacity to, you know, to nurture and to love and to take care of. She's also got, you know, a lot of, I mean, she's got, you know, whether it's testosterone or whatever it may be, but she's got a lot of goal, you know, and passion to speak her mind and be very bold about it, you know. And I mean, I can see how it comes across as kind of manly, or just, you know, and I think she spent a lot of time hanging out with dudes. You know, her YouTube channel's been filled with, you know, a lot of men trying to interact with her. So, like, she spent a lot of time around dudes. So you pick up on the things that you're around. So it makes sense that she would have, you know, a lot of fucking energy that's, you know, similar to being a man. You know, even the way that she likes to fuck, and, you know, she would go around asking fucking dudes if they just want to have sex. Like, that's, you know, that's a lot from what I've experienced, and even because a part of myself is like that too. Like, you know, that's largely how a lot of men like to think. A lot of females are like that too. So again, like, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, like, I'm over the tomboy thing. Like, you know, again, I think it's just because I'm I have a little bit more femininity than other men do, a part of me is gonna be attracted to a female that's got a little bit more masculinity than other females do. I think it's as simply as that. So, that covers that. And then, just me being an addict, especially with this kratom, like, that's the one thing it's a little different than opiates. Like, when I was taking oxys and stuff, I was much more inclined to socialize. But when I take kratom, whatever you want to call it, for whatever reason, it does this thing where I just get very much into my own mind. And it does kind of cut me off from, wanting to communicate with others. Even at work, I have trouble. Like, there's sometimes when I'm working, and again, a lot of it too is if my energy is not in the best place, it's going to make it even more difficult for me. But even at work, like, there's times and it's like I should ask a question. Like, I don't know exactly the right answer to this problem right now, and so I should ask. But because I'm still so, like, into my own head and just whatever, my addictions and where I'm at and all this and that, like, I won't ask the question. I'll just, guess and try my best to get the right answer and to be successful in the challenge in front of me, but I won't ask, which, isn't the best of things. It really isn't a good thing. If you have a question on your heart and there's somebody around you that can answer it or has a little bit better perspective than you do, then you should ask. That would be the healthy thing to do. But I'm not the best example for health. I've spent a lot of time destroying myself. I've done a lot of damage to my body. And that's another reason why part of me's been hesitant to try and, like, I've talked about relationships and, like, I had a little thing up for my GM and this and that, but another part of me was starting to think, like, hey man, maybe this isn't the right time to try to be with people. Maybe you should just focus on healing in yourself. And, like, if anybody who's spent time in, like, the 12-step program and rehab and rehabilitation, like, one of the things that they tell addicts is you shouldn't try to get in a relationship in the first 6 months of your recovery because you're fucked up pretty much, and you're just gonna end up fucking the relationship up. And a part of me can see why they say that, but another part of me believes in love. And love does endure all. And if you really love somebody and they really love you, then I think, then you all should help each other get through what you need to get through, whatever it may be. We're all growing, we're all learning things, nobody's perfect. But, we all are perfectly designed to be the way that we are. So it's like, but we're not without flaws, is what I'm trying to say. We all got flaws, we all got shit to learn and grow from. And, so another part of me feels like, a female that really cares about me would want to be there and try to, help me out in whatever way they can, so that I'm not as dependent on, supplements and herbs to get me through my day, but, to find that, you can have love in your life and share love with people. And that is in itself its own sustenance. It's its own power. It's its own drug, really. And, not to run away from love just because it doesn't look, picturesque and perfect, or as enjoyable as you'd like it to see, but to know that y'all's love will help transmutate it into something that is more beautiful, that is more healthy, that is more enjoyable. But sometimes you got to start, not sometimes, you got to start with where you're at. And, like, this is where I'm at right now. So if anybody really wants to be in my life and love me, they're going to have to deal with where I'm at and who I am right now, which is an addict. And it's also an addict who's at, I'm in my 30s, my mid 30s. So this is, it's nothing new to me. So it's something that I've accumulated a lot of damage. Like, right now, speaking is kind of difficult for me, not just because it's the kratom and the way it affects my brain, but it also literally my breath. Like, my breath is waning a little bit. Like, I'm not getting as much oxygen as I should be getting. That's why my voice doesn't sound as good as it should. That's why my energy's not as, high as it could be. It's because my voice is taking a toll because the kratom I take it through a drink. It's, you know, I drink it as a little concoction, and so it tears up my throat every time I take it. And then because it is also kind of like an opiate, it acts as a depressant. So it lowers my circulation, it lowers my lungs' ability to breathe, it lowers even my sex drive. You know, I mean, you know, taking large amounts of this stuff, it can make me impotent. You know, but I also know that when I'm not taking much of it, like, I'm good. Like, I'm able to, you know, that part of my body is able to perform. It's able to perform. You know, I'm able to, you know, I think y'all get the picture. So I'm able to get it up. You know, I still am if I don't take too much. But when I take too much, you know, it makes me limp. It is what it is. You know, I'm just being real. You know, so then I also got that thought running in my head, like, man, what type of a female is, like, gonna want to fucks with me when, you know, I can't even really, you know, get it up right now. But again, I believe in love, man, and, you know, being in a loving relationship to me isn't all about sex. Like, that is a very important and key part of the relationship, but it's not everything. I think, in fact, you know, it's the heart is the most important thing to me in a relationship. If y'all's hearts are on a similar page, then I think that can supersede everything. And then from that connection, you guys can help heal everything else. So, because my heart still feels like it has a love for joy, I am still hopeful that things can you know, change for the better. You know, and we can, you know, continue on, you know, and it's not too late. You know, but I also know that, you know, I mean, I could see how from a female's perspective, how I'm not, you know, I could see how that's not, you know, it's not the most attractive thing, you know, to be an addict, to have a voice, to be hard to speak. Like, Joy's a very vocal person, so I know she likes to speak a lot. So the fact that I'm having trouble speaking and that she loves to speak, it's like, I don't know, you know, is that gonna work? I'm not sure. You know, I'm willing to give it a shot, but, you know, I can just, I would appreciate, and you know, I don't like using that word understand, but I would understand if, you know, what the person I am right now isn't something that she would want to be with. I could understand that, I really could, and, you know, that's her choice, so I'm gonna, you know, do my best to appreciate her choice and respect it, you know, and not to push it if it's something that she doesn't want. But, you know, recently I've felt like I've seen signs that have, you know, told me that there is a type of interest there. So, you know, I'd love to make it work, you know, I would, but, you know, this is where I'm at, this is who I am right now, and these are the reasons why. You know, I've been away from YouTube for the past 2 days. You know, Saturday I was just beat, and then I took a hot bath Saturday night. I fell asleep in the bath, actually, and the next day I woke up and just in even more just like relaxed and lethargic mood than I've been in a very long time. So it's just like, you know, part of when I'm not feeling good energetically about myself, like, a part of me is just always wanted to, like, shy away and not even engage with anybody else, even my friends, because I don't want to bring them down, you know. But, you know, being in a relationship with a lover is different than your friends, because, like, you know, that's, in order for it to be a really healthy relationship, y'all got to be there for each other in the worst of times and in the best of times. So I need to stop being afraid of showing my weakness and just be real about my weaknesses and my struggles and my challenges. And the person that really wants to be with me is going to want to be there with me in that weakest moment, just like I should want to be there for her in her weakest moment. So, yeah. All right, you know, I think that's, I think I got out just about all I wanted to. Yeah, I think I've portrayed a pretty good, you know, image of where I'm at right now. So, all right, y'all, I love you guys. Y'all take care, all right? Bye.